Why do people enjoy watching others fail? The psychology of public shaming. Imagine scrolling through your feed and seeing a headline that someone, maybe a celebrity, a politician, or even an internet stranger, has made a terrible mistake. The story spreads like wildfire. Thousands of comments flood in, mocking them, condemning them, tearing apart every detail of their life. People joke about their downfall, create memes, share their failures, and revel in their humiliation. And you? You might laugh. You might shake your head in disapproval. You might even comment, joining the collective outrage. But no matter what, you watch. Now ask yourself, why do we enjoy seeing others fail? Why does public shaming captivate us so much? In an age where social media allows everyone to become a judge, jury, and executioner, public failure isn't just a consequence, it's entertainment. But this phenomenon isn't new. The desire to see people fall has existed for centuries. From ancient public executions to medieval stocks, from reality TV meltdowns to viral social media call-outs, humiliation has always drawn an audience. But why? What is it about failure, about seeing someone's world crumble, that feels so satisfying? Are we really just holding people accountable, or is there something darker at play? The science of Schadenfreude, why we love watching others fail. In psychology, there's a term for the pleasure people take in another's misfortune, Schadenfreude. It's a German word that literally means harm joy, and it describes that strange, almost involuntary feeling of satisfaction we get when we witness someone else's downfall. Research has found that Schadenfreude is strongest when the person who fails is seen as powerful, arrogant, or successful. A study published in Nature found that people experienced increased pleasure when watching a perceived high-status individual make a mistake. Why? Because deep down, we crave fairness. When we see someone at the top fall, it feels like the universe restoring balance. Their failure reassures us that success doesn't mean invincibility, that the wealthy, the famous, the untouchable can still lose. And that makes us feel better about where we stand in the world. But Schadenfreude isn't just about fairness, it's about ego. When we see others fail, it gives us an opportunity to feel superior. At least I didn't mess up that badly. At least I'm not them. It feeds our need to compare, to rank ourselves, to feel like we are doing better by contrast. Their failure becomes our boost. And when you add in social media, the instant gratification of likes, shares, and comments, this pleasure becomes amplified. Because now, shaming isn't just a private thought, it's a performance. Public shaming as social currency. Hundreds of years ago, public humiliation was a form of punishment. In medieval Europe, people who broke societal rules were placed in stocks, wooden structures that held their hands and head in place, where the entire town could mock and throw things at them. Today, the stocks have been replaced with Twitter, Reddit, and TikTok. Instead of throwing rotten food, we throw insults, sarcasm, and memes. Instead of a physical place in the town square, we have viral call-out threads. Instead of the judge ordering the punishment, we, the public, decide who deserves humiliation. And the worst part? It feels good. A study in the Journal of Experimental Psychology found that people who engage in public shaming experience a temporary boost in their self-esteem. In other words, when we participate in the downfall of another person, it makes us feel important. It makes us feel righteous. This is because outrage is a form of social bonding. When we all come together to condemn someone, we feel like we're part of something bigger. We're not just individuals reacting to an event. We're part of a movement, a collective force, a moral army. And in a world where everyone is desperate for validation, being on the right side of a public scandal makes us feel powerful. But is it really justice? Or is it just an excuse to enjoy cruelty without guilt? Cancel culture, justice, or modern-day mob mentality? In theory, holding people accountable is a good thing. People who abuse power, who spread harm, who refuse to take responsibility, should face consequences. But at what point does holding someone accountable turn into destroying them entirely. We tell ourselves that cancel culture is about justice, but often it's not about fixing anything. It's about punishment for punishment's sake. It's about making an example of someone. It's about the spectacle. Take a look at past cancellations. A celebrity tweets something offensive 10 years ago, and their career is ruined overnight. An ordinary person makes a mistake on video, and their life is permanently changed. A misunderstood comment gets taken out of context, and suddenly, they are the internet's villain. And once the outrage starts, it doesn't stop. There's no path to redemption, no way to explain, no space for forgiveness. Once you've been marked as wrong by the internet, you become a target. Your old tweets are dug up, your past is dissected. Every mistake you've ever made becomes proof that you were always terrible. And the worst part? Most of the people watching don't even care about the issue. They just enjoy watching someone suffer. The fear of failure in a hyper-connected world. What does all this lead to? A world where people are afraid to make mistakes. A world where perfection is expected, even though no one is perfect. A world where your entire existence can be reduced to a single bad moment. We now live in an era where one mistake can define your entire identity, where one wrong word can be screenshotted and spread to millions, where people don't get the chance to learn, to grow, to apologize, because the internet never forgets. And so, we all start self-censoring. We become afraid to express unpopular opinions, to take risks, to say anything that could be interpreted the wrong way. We trade authenticity for safety. We choose silence over the risk of shame. And yet, as we sit in fear of being the next target, we still participate in the cycle. We still click. We still comment. We still judge. Because deep down, we all know the truth. The safest place to be during a public execution is in the crowd. The final question: who benefits from our outrage? But maybe, just maybe, the system is designed this way on purpose. Maybe public shaming isn't about justice at all. Maybe it's a distraction. A way to keep us focused on the failures of others instead of questioning the world we live in. A way to make sure we are too busy tearing each other down to build anything new. Maybe the reason we enjoy watching others fail is because it keeps us from looking at ourselves. So the next time you see someone being publicly shamed, ask yourself, are they really the villain, or are we just addicted to the drama? And more importantly, who gains when we destroy each other?